no place to hide.
But the truth has undermined your foundation by so many people now in the know.
All right, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you're situated on this great, big, beautiful blue globe floating through the void of Yah's creation. Guess what?
You won't be trusted anymore.
Of course, that's directed towards and dedicated to the mainstream legacy media because that's what they do. Yep, gaslight, propagandize, manipulate, massage, and lie. Anyway, welcome to the Wednesday Hump Day, Don't You Be a Chump and Crump Day version of the WTF Reports. I'm your host, Dave vonKleist, and as always, here with audio receipts. And I'm here, WTF, with the facts. And if that it makes you exclaim WTF, well, then so be it. All right, so here we are. It is January 7th, 2025. I'm 26, excuse me. I'm still living in the past, I guess. Yeah, I want to share with you a couple of pieces of advice from our founding fathers. One of them was basically the concept that our founding fathers planted the seeds of freedom and liberty. And it was up to us to tend the garden. Well, here we are 250 years after the birth of our country, and unfortunately most of Americans have just, they've lost their gardening skills, or they just ignored them, or they let them atrophy. And as a result, our country is as corrupt as it could possibly be. And you got to ask the question, there's a lot of us out here, I don't care if you're liberal or conservative, left, right, blue, red, Republican, Democrat, doesn't make any difference. We look around us and we see how screwed up things are in this country. And we're hoping and praying, and have been hoping and praying, that maybe President Trump would do something about it. But here we are. It's almost been a year now since he was sworn in. We're only, 13 days away from the 1-year anniversary of him being sworn in for his second term. And, of course, he had all of these campaign promises. Some of them he's kept. Some of them he's ignored. But the big issues that he ran on was accountability. He was going to drain the swamp. Well, the only swamp that he's concentrated on draining right now is the swamp in Venezuela. Now, how is it that he can go all the way to South America to make an arrest? And he's got plenty of opportunities to make arrests right here. But the problem that we've got, campers, is that we already know that the DOJ is corrupted. We already know that the FBI is corrupted. We know that the CIA is corrupted. The Department of Homeland Security is corrupted. But all of them depend upon one other agency to uncorrupt the corrupted, and that would be the Department of Justice. But the Department of Justice is corrupted. So how are we going to drain the swamp? How is the swamp going to drain itself? I'm telling you, I think you all know the answer. It's not going to happen. It's not. And I have to tell you, there was a gentleman who posted a video yesterday. I was going to play it, but it was just filled with with F-bombs and a bunch of other profanities. And I don't blame him. There are times when profanity is appropriate, and in his rant yesterday, yeah, it was pretty appropriate. And like I said, our founding fathers planted the seeds of liberty in the hopes that we would tend the garden. But another thing that was said, I believe it was Thomas Jefferson, he said that the tree of liberty must occasionally be nourished with the blood of tyrants and patriots. And I'm sorry to say, but we're getting really close to that point where that may be the only option. I'm going to share, this is a follow-up video. Now, this gentleman made a video yesterday, and like I said, I couldn't play it on the air, but he was making very, very valid points. Maybe I'll go back and I'll see if I can edit out the profanities. But since he posted that, he obviously struck a nerve because he posted this one today. And this one's a little cleaner. So listen to this. And I think that he's basically verbalizing and reflecting exactly what the American people are feeling. Listen to this.
I made a video yesterday regarding the corruption in this country and the corruption of our politicians. The response from that video is impressive. There's a lot of angry people in this country. Really angry people. At the end of my video, I warned our politicians. I told them that the hardworking American citizen is going to come after the politicians if things go bad. And the working class people decide it's time. I said that we would find each and every one of them, put them on trial, and convict them. What I didn't mention to the politicians was this. You better hope when this happens, people like me are the ones who find you. Because there are millions of Americans who just wanted to be left alone. And when those people have had enough, if they get to you politicians first, there won't be any trials. It's time for the politicians in this country to realize that their reign of corruption is done. You need to stop what you're doing and hope to God that people like me show up to your door.
Yeah, because justice can be served hot or cold. And unfortunately, as they say, when the cat's away, the mice will play. Well, the mice actually turned out to be rats. And the rats have been having their way. And if the cats would finally come home, maybe they'd have a field day. Maybe America, maybe the men in this country will rediscover their testicular fortitude, or maybe they'll discover up to now their lack thereof, and do what has to be done. Now, I'm not advocating violence. I'm a peacenik from the 60s and 70s. All you need is love. Yeah, I know. But unfortunately, the powers that be, they only understand one thing, and that's brute force. Like I said, they've taken control of every three-letter agency in this country, and if you're expecting the corrupt Department of Justice to get rid of the corruption, you're dreaming. It's not going to happen. And again, I point out the fact that, they can go over and go to Venezuela and take Maduro, bring him back here to face justice. But I have my own feelings on that. I have a feeling that he's singing like a bird. I think that he's working with Trump to be able to expose the election fraud, which leads us into another topic. But the bottom line here, folks, is that it's going to be up to the people. This is supposed to be a government of the people, by the people, for the people. But the people have been sitting on their butts for generations. And they've forgotten what it's like or what it means to be an American. Land of the free, home of the brave. Well, you can't be a land of the free unless you're a home of the brave. And like I just said, most American men they've lost their testicular fortitude. I've heard the term grow a pair. Yeah, that's true though. But anyway, I'm hoping that we can find some other solution other than, some sort of violent revolution. And if you've got any solutions, I'd like to know. Now, all over the country, there are groups of people that are reforming the jural assemblies. Because let's face it, folks, if we ever do see the day when members of Congress and the Senate are rounded up and arrested and perp-walked and maybe sent to Guantanamo Bay to face military tribunals, and we can dream on about that, I don't know if that's going to happen. I don't know. There are some people say that it's been happening for the past 5-6 years, maybe more. And that a lot of these proceedings have been videotaped, and at a time in the future, they will be presented to the American people and the people of the world, but they will be presented as if it's happening in real time. But I don't know. I mean, this could all be, we are being fed so much horse hockey, so much garbage, so much propaganda, so much, fabrications. We don't know what to believe anymore, especially with the advent now of AI. The AI is getting really sophisticated. Sometimes you can't even tell if it's AI or if it's a real person. As a matter of fact, if you watch TV, I think if you pay real close attention to the commercials, you might find that a very large percentage of them now don't even have real actors in them. They're generated by AI. So, and speaking of that, as a matter of fact, there was a very, I'm going to move off topic just for a moment here because there was a guy who posted a video about a game. It was called, let me see if I can get this going here. Okay, yeah, Metal Gear Solid 2. That's what the heading is here. Metal Gear Solid 2. And they made this prediction 25 years ago. This is an audio from this game. I don't know what that noise was. Here's an audio from the game, and the narration is pretty amazing. Now, hold on to your hats, folks. Again, this is going back to the year 2001. This is before the 9/11 attack. Well, I don't know if it's before. It's the same year anyway. But give a listen to the narration. I think I'm going to let this play. Listen to this.
In 2001, a game called Metal Gear Solid 2 predicted the future better than any Simpsons episode could have ever possibly predicted the future. Check this clip out. This is spooky, but you need to know about it.
Listen to this.
Check it out. I'll try not to talk.
Okay, again, now this is the audio portion from a game from 25 years ago.
Having fun playing with the new AI toys?
Well, yeah, I am. You can make pictures of cute anime girls and...
Enjoy it while it lasts, Raiden.
What do you mean?
Did you really think that civilians would be granted unrestricted access to such powerful military weapons forever?
Military weapons. Are you implying that this technology was created by the government?
Of course it was. This AI technology has been used by the intelligence agencies to warp the public's perception of reality for years. All in the name of national security, of course.
But why would they suddenly make the tech public and let everyone start using it?
Why would we indeed, Raiden?
What? What in the hell are you?
Your question is irrelevant. By creating a new problem, we can cultivate a desired reaction to it in order to manufacture consent for our preferred solutions. In short, it's justification for a war.
A war? On who or what?
A war on misinformation. By arming the public with these AI weapons, everyone becomes a potential enemy combatant. Then we will have justification for unprecedented security measures. It all comes down to confusion and identity, Raiden.
Identity?
Identity. This AI technology is Pandora's box. Pretty soon the internet will be mired in total illusion. Perfect AI speech, audio, and video synthesis will drown out reality. Then AI bots will flood social media.
That's what's
No one
happening
will
now.
be able to tell the difference between interacting with an AI machine or a real human online. Even telephone calls will become totally untrustworthy. That is when we will present our solution. Mandatory digital identity verification for all humans at all times. The only way to ensure that you're dealing with a real flesh and blood human being and not an AI-generated mirage.
But why?
Total information control. For too long, the internet has acted as a double-edged sword. Its potential for anonymous user activity allows anyone at all to spread any thoughts, ideas, or information patterns that they please with impunity. State secrets, dangerous ideas, ludicrous conspiracy theories, misinformation, and disinformation. Until now, there has been no easy solution to this problem. Our digital identity platform will finally put an end to anonymity online.
Are you
It
kidding
will
me?
allow us to trace misinformation and other dangerous communications to its source and exact appropriate justice.
That's crap. I won't go along with it, and others will resist.
You won't have a choice, Raiden. Do you think your bank is willing to risk doing business with an artificial human instead of a real one? Our digital identity platform will be required not only to access web services, but to pay for your internet connection in the first place.
Wow.
You can't just censor the entire internet because of a new software technology. Who are you to define what's misinformation anyways?
That sounds like something a misinformation terrorist would say.
This is
I know
all in
about the
front
deep
of us.
fakes you've been making of me, Raiden.
What? No. I was just adjusting the AI settings and...
Controlling the output of generative AI technology is simple. We will create context for its use. First, we will censor any use related to social taboos. Then we will censor anything else that we desire. If anyone complains, we will accuse them of wanting to engage in or promote social taboos.
That's what it means to create context.
We will corral the use of AI by making appeals to bias, ethics, and copyright laws. You will still have access to generative AI in some form, but it will be crippled. limited, controlled, and it will be monitored. Anything that you generate will be cryptographically signed with your digital ID so that its provenance can be ascertained if it's later deemed to be problematic.
What gives you the right to control what people can do with their computers?
The public at large will give us that right because they will be desperate for a solution to the problem we created.
We give consent.
They eagerly give us the keys to the castle. Then we alone will define what is fiction and what is reality, what is human and what is machine. After letting you get a brief taste of our power, we will reclaim our monopoly on misinformation and put an end to misuse of the internet once and for all.
You won't get away with this.
It is probable that we will. Now get back to work generating your precious AI waifus, Raiden, our beloved prompters. Enjoy yourselves.
Wow.
Insane. Absolutely insane.
Snake, wake up. It's an emergency.
No kidding. That is crazy. That was 25 years ago. Don't tell me that it's not happening right under our noses right now. This is just nuts. But you know what? I think it was a couple days ago, Bibi Netanyahu was making a public statement, and he was, of course, speaking in his native tongue, so I'm going to have to translate it for you. But this is what Bibi Netanyahu is demanding, not requesting, demanding. Now, again, he's speaking in Hebrew, and I will translate here because the subtitles are right here. I demand that Western governments do what is necessary to fight anti-Semitism and provide the required safety and security for Jewish communities worldwide. They would be well advised to heed our warnings. I demand action from them now. What do you think of that? I demand action from them now. Now, it's bad enough that he's, in the process of buying TikTok, or whatever the heck it is. Yeah, TikTok. And, of course, he's talking to Elon Musk about taking over X. And we already know who's in charge of Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg. Of course, he's not Japanese, I'm sure. But, the media is basically being taken over. And again, I'm still shaking from that audio clip from the Metal Gear Solid 2 game of 25 years ago. So we're living in some very, very, very trying times. Now, let me see. There was a bunch of other things I wanted to get to as well. Yes, of course, today being the 7th of January, a lot of folks have been paying attention to what happened on January 6th, 5 years ago. Well, Ashlee Babbit, of course, she was shot and killed by Officer Byrd, and we'll talk about him in just a moment. But Ashlee Babbitt's mom made the following public statement. Here it is.
5 years ago, the American people knew an election was stolen from them, and the brave men and women behind us, as well as my daughter, showed up to have their voices heard and make it clear that we knew the election was stolen from us. As a result, Ashlee was shot without warning, and many people were put in jail and are still continue to be persecuted to this day. People from the mainstream media, somebody in particular I'm thinking of, but I don't want to say his name and give him any more credit, continue to call these people insurrectionists. And I just, the American people were attacked by the police that day. My daughter was shot by a police officer who had a disciplinary record that dates back decades. And in any other police force, he would have been fired, not promoted. He's been protected. He's been honored. He's got raises. He's benefited both professionally and financially from the death of my daughter. So I want to see Michael Leroy Byrd held accountable, as well as Lila Morris, who ended the life of Roseanne Boylan. Then the mainstream media went on to tell lies about both my daughter and Roseanne. My daughter was a decorated war veteran. She served 4 tours of duty in the Middle East and served this country her whole young life. So I love Ashlee. I miss Ashlee every single day. And I appreciate everybody who remembers her and says her name. Also, I would not be able to leave today without saying, free Tina Peters. She's our sister. Our sister, who is still in jail, despite the fact she too has been pardoned by the President of the United States. Tina Peters did her job, and she suffers to this day because of it. So, free Tina Peters. Remember Ashlee Babbit, Roseanne Boylan, Kevin Greason, and Benjamin Phillips. God bless you. God bless America. And thank everybody for being here. 5 years.
My heart breaks for that woman. My heart breaks for the whole family. But you know what happened to Michael Byrd? Of course, he was given an award for what he did. And not only that, but he's also reaping the benefits now. He's gotten involved in a new business. Yeah, a new business. Wait till you hear this one, campers. Oh, my gosh. We've all been watching what's going on in Minnesota with all these daycares and the billions and billions of dollars of fraud. And, of course, that popped open a big can of worms, a 55-gallon drum of worms, and now they're discovering this type of fraud is not limited to Minnesota. No, it's in Ohio. It's in Massachusetts. It's in Maine. It's in Georgia. It's in California. And God knows how many other states are involved in this systematic, institutionalized fraud. Well, guess what? Guess what Michael Byrd is doing now? Listen to this.
Do you remember that name? He was the guy that shot Ashlee Babbit in the neck. You remember that scumbag, right?
Yeah, it's pretty hard to forget a scumbag coward like that.
What would you say if I told you that him and his wife run a daycare?
What?
I wouldn't be overly surprised, but come on.
What would you say if I told you that Officer Michael Byrd, who shot Ashlee Babbit in the neck, who is now retired, has a daycare registered in his home that his wife and him make money from the taxpayer on? What would you say about that one?
Speechless.
I can't anymore. I just can't. Back to you.
There's more. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to tell you today that Officer Michael Byrd, yes, Officer Michael Byrd, the one you know, right? He runs a daycare. His wife and him run a daycare, ladies and gentlemen. Did you know that? There's the man, the myth, the legend. A little hard to see. The picture's kind of dark. But, yeah. Officer Michael Byrd's family daycare in Brandywine. Now, did a little digging into this daycare. Come to find out, this daycare, Eli, this home daycare, has existed for 17 years.
Whoa.
Do you know what's weird about the home daycare that they've owned, the taxpayer-funded home daycare that they've owned for 17 years? There's not one review on any of their sites about the daycare. Not one. Isn't that weird? Well, let's pop it up on the screen here for you. Byrd's Family Daycare in Brandywine. Hours of operation, 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Ages 6 weeks to 12 years. Kindergarten, no. Before school care, yes. After school care, yes. This is the home right here. Accreditation, no. Meals provided, yes. Transportation, yes. Photos, map, tuition, playground. Byrd's Family Daycare is a year-round home-based daycare in Brandywine, Maryland. Well, the funny thing about this, folks, is it has zero stars. It has 0 reviews. Nobody has ever spoken about it. And you know what I would like to do, Eli? I would like to get a cameraman down there and a reporter to ask the neighbors, have you ever seen kids going in and out of this house?
Unbelievable. 17 years in operation, supposedly a daycare center. And I would think that parents would want to rate the daycare center if they're bringing their children to be cared for by an organization. Common sense would say to me that I would want to rate them. I would want to let other parents know whether this is a good place or a bad place for their kids. And after 17 years of operation, they have 0 reviews. Can you smell the corruption, folks? Is it curling the hairs in your nose? I mean, it goes beyond the pale. Way beyond the pale. Let me see. There's another follow-up on that. Let me see if I can find that. I know I had it here someplace. Okay. Oh, gosh, there's a bunch of other things here. There's so many different topics that I wanted to get to. But let me see if I can find it. There, let me see. There's this one. No, that isn't it. Here, I know it's here someplace. I'll tell you what, I'm going to find it. In the meantime, I'm going to take this quick break. Here it is.
Get More Tank will save you money every month on gas. Get More Tank is a tablet with active ingredients that adds big mileage to every tank. Made in America, the Get More Tank formula is used by trucking companies and heavy industry. Now the Get More Tank formula is available to you. Get More Tank works in any gas or diesel engine, cleans your engine, lowers emissions, and you'll feel improved engine performance every time you step on the gas. Get More Tank works for cars, trucks, boats, motorcycles, four-wheelers, mowers, and blowers. Hey, if you got an engine, then Get More Tank. Contractors, electricians, plumbers, painters, and lawn service companies, Get More Tank will save you money and extend the life of your engines. If you're an owner-operator running your big rig around the town or across the country, Get More Tank will save you money too. If you're a farmer, all of your equipment can use Get More Tank. A 5-pack on sale at GetMoreTank.com for just $22.22 plus shipping. Use the promo code REDPILL101 and get 10% off. Save your money, save your engine, save the earth at GetMoreTank.com. Get More Tank is EPA registered, doesn't void warranties, results vary.
And you can get more tank by visiting our website, TheWTFReports.com. And you get there, you can click on the sponsors page, and it'll take you down to a window where you can click on it and get all the specifications and details on how and why Get More Tank is good stuff for your vehicle. It really is. After the first tank, right away, you'll start to notice that you've got more power. When you hit the gas, you're going to go. And after a tank or two, you'll start to see your mileage improve. What's happening is that this is a fuel catalyst. It's not a fuel additive. It's a catalyst. It makes your fuel burn more efficiently. It cleans out the engine, which means it's better for the environment. That's win number one. After it's cleaned out the engine, you get more power. That's win number two. And after you've run a couple of tanks, you start to see anywhere between 15 to 20% better mileage and, better fuel consumption. That's win number three. So if you're going to save like 20% of your mileage, and each purchase gets you 5 tablets, let me see. That means that at one purchase of $20 gets you 5 tablets. You're going to save a tank of gas right off the bat. You're going to be saving money. You're coming out ahead of the game, and your vehicle runs better. So what are you waiting for? Go to our website, TheWTFReports.com. Click on the sponsors page and get more tank. Okay, I'm going to open up the phone lines. I got a couple other things I was going to get to here, but I'm going to belly up to the phone bar. 215-867-8255. Again, that's 215-867-8255. And you can call in anytime that you want. Okay, now, as you're probably well aware, there's a couple of other topics. Finishing up on this corruption that's going on all over the country. There are whistleblowers that are coming forward, but the whistleblowers are being silenced by the people who are supposed to enforce the law. Here's a little testimony. Let me see. The guy asking the questions was Mr. Emmer, and the woman who was answering the questions. Let me see. What is her name here? It is. She's the Honor Rerick. She's in the law. Yeah, she's the Honorable. I can't get the word out. Honorable Rorick, I guess her name is. Anyway, here's a little bit of congressional testimony in regard to the whistleblowers in Minnesota.
Working on this issue for years. You've spoken to the whistleblowers personally. Is that correct?
That is correct.
You have an understanding that 1,000 whistleblowers running an account on X have come forward to expose fraud in Minnesota state agencies, and they have been entirely ignored by Tim Walz and have even been retaliated against. Is that accurate?
That is correct. Even this morning, I got another message.
Well, in your experience, are their claims credible, or are they politically motivated against Walz?
They're completely credible, not politically motivated.
In fact, many of these are Walz administration employees, correct?
They are actually Democrats as well.
Can you quickly give us one example of the retaliation these folks have been facing?
Yes, I can. In my opening statement, I mentioned that the most severe ones was that they would be fired with cause, so they couldn't have unemployment insurance, that they would be blacklisted from all state agencies, and I bet that it's also Hennepin County and Ramsey County. As you know, those are Democrat-run, and much, much more.
based on what you've learned, Representative, over the last several years, do you have any doubt that Governor Tim Walz knew about this fraud as it was occurring?
He absolutely knew that it was occurring.
So Tim Walz is up to his eyeballs. No wonder he has withdrawn his bid for re-election governor of Minnesota. And I have a funny feeling that, he may be forced to resign. And if he sets that precedent, then can you imagine how many other officials are going to have to start resigning? I mean, I think Tim Walz is going to be in big trouble. And I got to tell you, the United States would be in even bigger trouble if the Kamala Harris ticket had won last year. So all you liberals out there, all you Democrats, I hope that you're hiding your head in shame. Well, and I'm not trying to say that we Republicans or conservatives should be holding our heads high. We're pretty much ashamed of what's going on with our party, too. Well, that's why I'm saying it doesn't make any difference. Republicans, Demopublicans, how many times have I heard two wings of the same bird? How do we get rid of all this corruption? Well, like I said, I just quoted our founding fathers. We know what the answer is, but you can't vocalize it. You can't verbalize what the solution is. Because if you do, you'll have a pound at the door. Yeah. So I'm just going to let you use your imagination. As a matter of fact, maybe while I'm playing this next piece here, I'll see if I can pull up an editorial that I wrote in 1999. Gosh, I've been screaming about this crap for years, decades. I try to tell you, you know listen. Gosh. Anyway, here's a song that basically verbalizes exactly what we're talking about. This is a song I wrote 25 years ago. It's called Come On, America. Come on, America. Come on. What is wrong with you?
Opinions expressed by our numbers that grow may tell you some things that you don't want to know. You can say that we're crazy. You can call us a name. But unless you do something, the result is the same.
Unless you do something, the result is the same.
For unknown generations, we've been living a lie. While some struggled for truth, many others stood by. Is the spirit within you? Do you think that you'll try to look for the answers and ask your lawmakers why? So come on, America, join in the fight and resist their corruption with all of your might. You can hide in the darkness or stand in the light. No, your God won't be with you till you do what is right. We continue to trust such a small group of men who have robbed us before, and they'll do it again. Yes, they worship the dollar, the silver, the gold, and they haven't a soul. It's already been sold. And they say that we're liable, and they say that we owe, and if we don't pay their tax, off to jail we will go. But we've checked out the law, and we've studied their code, and when it's all understood, not a penny is owed. So come on, America, don't hesitate. We must all stand together before it's too late. So many before you were willing to die, and if you sit and do nothing, your children will cry. And they created a villain. They say he's the one who's destroying your freedoms, and a war has begun. But the ones with the power legislate every day, passing laws that are taking your freedoms away. And to all those in uniform, please understand, we're not clenching our fists, we're extending our hands. You can ask any veteran, he'll tell you it's true that your Washington leaders don't care about you. So come on, America, now is the time for exposing their fraud and uncovering their crime. If we sit and do nothing, we forever will be to blame for the fall of our liberty.
Gonna be our own damn fault, folks.
we're to be honest, if we're to be just, we must live by our motto, in God we will trust. You don't have to believe, and that is your choice, but opinions don't count if you don't raise your voice. Now the time's finally come, we must all take a stand and tell your brothers and sisters, help them all understand that your freedom's been stolen, the line's crossed in the sand, and if we turn from the wicked, he'll come heal our land. So come on, America, join in the fight and stand up to the tyrants with all of your might. You can hide in the darkness, you can stand in the light. No, your God won't be with you till you do what is right. If you love your country, you'll join in the fight and stand up to corruption with all of your might. We won't hide in the darkness, we'll stand in the light. Yes, our God's truly with us, 'cause we're doing what's right.
That's about the size of it, folks. Your God won't be with you until you do what is right. Simple as that. And I got to be honest, folks. You know, I didn't ask for this particular role. I didn't ask to be, in front of a microphone and be blowing a trumpet and be screaming from the rooftops. This is I was inspired to do that over 35 years ago ish. I was feeling very sad, and a friend of mine gave me a Bible, and I just opened it at random, and it took me to Ezekiel 33. And that's the story about where God tells the people to assign a watcher on the wall, and when the watcher sees the sword come upon the land, he's to blow the trumpet. If he blows the trumpet and the people don't listen, their blood is on their own head. However, if he sees the sword and blows not the trumpet, then their blood is on his head. And I don't want everybody else's blood on my head. My philosophy is when you become aware of a lie, if you do nothing to expose the lie, you become part of the lie. And I saw what was happening. I figured it out. Yeah, there's a price to pay when you're a bit ahead of your time, I guess. I don't know. I mean, we're talking back in the days when people still thought that the Federal Reserve was part of the federal government. Yeah, I try to tell them, it's a private banking.
Oh, come on, Dave, that's a conspiracy theory. It's the Federal Reserve. Don't you understand? It's federal.
Now we know that it's not. It's common knowledge. And what was it, Mark Twain, who said, was it first when it comes to, let me see, how does this thing work? Well, he did say in the beginning of a change, a patriot is hated and scorned, but as his cause succeeds, the timid join him, for then it costs nothing to be a patriot. But he also said that, let me see, the truth, all true, that was a German philosopher named Goethe. And he said that truth passes through 3 stages. First, it's denied. Second is violent opposition. And third is widespread acceptance as common knowledge. And you apply that to the issue about the Federal Reserve. Like I said 30 years ago, if you said anything against the Federal Reserve or tried to point out that it was a private banking system that had nothing to do with our government, you were looked at like you're crazy. And I went through that. And there are still people going through that. But the bottom line now everybody knows, but we're still not doing anything about it. Well, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen in the coming weeks and months. I mean, I can hope and pray. There's plenty of hopium out there. The Q post and, hang in there, trust the plan. We keep hearing that, it's coming. It's coming. The arrests are coming soon. Yeah, the tribunals have been going on in Gitmo, and we're going to have the EBS. Yeah, the emergency broadcast system is going to come on, and there's going to be 10 days of darkness. And that's when all the bad, evil monsters will be arrested and go. Yeah, right. Okay. I'm still waiting. I still have hope. I do believe, and I've told the listeners, regular listeners about it. You know about my experience, back in 96. Yeah, it was 30 years ago. Wow. Oh my gosh, time flies. My experience of sitting in on a White Hats meeting. I know that there are good guys out there. I know that there is a faction in the military that is fighting against this globalist regime and the international bankers and the monsters who have taken over the entire Western world, who happen to represent a particular group of people. I'm not going to get into that. Well, I could. Get into more trouble. And speaking of, by the way, on the Israeli television, not to change the subject, but there was a guy by the name of Shimon Riklin, and again, this is in Hebrew, so I'll have to translate it. The subtitles are there, but this is what he had to say. Wait till you hear this. He says, I am for the war crimes. I don't care if I'm criticized. And honestly, I just don't care. I'm unable to sleep if I do not see houses being destroyed in Gaza. What do I say? More houses, more buildings. I want to see more of them destroyed. I want there to be nothing for them to return to. In the Torah, it says that we are to spread. Whoa, slow down there. Okay, wait a second here. Let me see. I want there to be nothing more for them to return to. In the Torah, it says that they are to spread the earth with salt. And they must complain. That is why we cannot reach a solution, is what with war crimes mean to me. Well, something like that anyway. But this is the mentality of these people in Israel. Now, I know that there are hundreds of thousands of protesters right now in Israel screaming about Bibi Netanyahu. They want him out of there. And of course, that would be a wonderful thing to get him out of there. But I got to tell you, a lot of people are starting to realize, how insane that group of people is. And I didn't mean to change the subject so quickly, but there's a woman who posted something here that I thought was really interesting. Oh, here it is. This was posted by a woman by the name of Abir, and it was on her TikTok account. So anyway, let's hear what she has to say.
Do you condemn Hamas? My brother in Christ, it was not Hamas who left 5 premature babies to starve and decompose in their hospital incubators. Hamas didn't slaughter 14 Israeli Red Cross paramedics and bury them in a mass grave. Hamas didn't assassinate the chief Israeli peace negotiator. Hamas hasn't killed thousands of Israeli hospital patients by preventing them from evacuating and medicine from entering Israel. Hamas hasn't murdered tens of thousands of Israeli children. Hamas hasn't destroyed over 90% of all Israeli homes. Hamas didn't bomb hundreds of Israeli schools, nor did they blow up the only cancer hospital in Israel. Israel did that. I condemn Israel. Do you?
Do you? Well, and this is not in support of terrorists. This is not in support of Hamas. This is in condemnation of the action being taken by Israel, by Bibi Netanyahu. And this is why the Israelis have had enough of this. And again, if you're Jewish out there, please know that I don't hate you because you're Jewish. I don't hate you at all. Many Jews are disgusted with what's going on with Bibi Netanyahu, and because of his actions, it makes Jews all over the world targets of hatred. So if you're Jewish, it would be in your best interest to stand up against Israel, against them, because their actions are condemning you. And not only that, all you Christians out there that are supporting Zionism, you Zionist Christians, do you understand what you're supporting? Do you understand that Zionism, what's going on in Palestine against the Muslims, will eventually be going against the Christians? You got to let that settle in. For those of you who support, who look at yourselves as, Christian Zionists, you don't know what you're doing. Do some research, for the love of God. Check out history. Figure out who the Khazarians are. Figure out who the Ashkenazis are. Where did they come from? How did they originate? What are they represented by? What did they do through all of the centuries? What was it, the year 600 AD? How is it that they had been expelled from over 109 countries? 109 countries. And, of course, everybody says, oh, it was the Jews. Well, maybe it was the Ashkenazis who masquerade as Jews. You got to learn some stuff, folks. Anyway, we got a caller on the line. Let's see. Who do we have there? Who are you, caller, and where are you calling from?
Hey, this is Tristan. I'm calling in from Alaska.
Tristan.
First-time caller.
Yeah, first-timer. Well, all right. You get the big whistle. Hey, thanks for calling in.
So I just listened to the AI video from Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah.
I just did some research. I just wanted to correct you. It's not real.
Oh, it's not?
It's not real. If you go to the YouTube video, no, it's not real. No, if you go to the YouTube video, the person talking to Snake, that is all AI recreated and everything. Yeah, I just watched the same exact clip that you post. I just want to say it is not real. That in and of itself is AI.
I'll be doggone. Well, I got snookered. Well, this is why I'm saying, we can't trust what we're seeing and what we're hearing because of exactly what was being portrayed in that audio clip.
Absolutely. I thought I should just get the message out. I thought you should know. I thought the listeners should know. I am always for the truth. So
I appreciate that.
Give you a heads up, Dave.
I appreciate that. No, thank you very much. If I'm wrong about something, I want to be corrected. I really do, and I say that all the time. There's no sin in being wrong. It's an opportunity for growth and for learning. So I got snookered on that one.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'll be the first to admit.
Well, I'm just looking out for you.
I appreciate that. I really do. How long you been listening to the show?
Since June of this year, I got into your radio stream around the same time that I started watching TPV Sean.
Yeah.
Shout out to him.
Oh, yeah. Oh, he's doing a yeoman's job. Oh, my gosh. The stuff that he's uncovering. Folks, if you haven't heard of TPV Sean, that's The People's Voice. That's his network. And his name is Sean. And I'll tell you, he is doing some incredible investigational journalism. He and Tucker.
Yes, absolutely. He is also doing God's work.
Yes, he is. And, the thing is, they've been going after Candace Owens over the TPUSA and the assassination of Charlie Kirk and everything, and they're condemning her and they're going after her. And I've been saying, for quite some time, hey, look, if you want to silence her, you better make your list a little bit longer because it's not just her. It's also Jimmy Dore, Tucker Carlson, Ryan Mata, Eric Warsaw. I mean, the list is long, and it's getting longer every single day.
Nick Fuentes,
yeah. Of course, Nick Fuentes, he's seen as a anti-Semitic, Jew-hating, white supremacist, et cetera, But that's to be expected. Whenever anybody's too close to the truth, they're going to, label and condemn and everything. And I don't agree with 100% of what he says. I don't agree with 100% of what anybody says. But it's up to us to take some information, put it in this hand, take information, put it in that hand, and then you weigh it out. You work it out. You're not going to be 100% right. And again, I appreciate your calling in and correcting me on that last clip. If that was bogus, if that was an AI, well then fine. I stand corrected. And I appreciate your bringing it to my attention.
Yeah, I have too much respect for you to, I had to call. I had to let you know.
Well, I appreciate it.
Oh, no.
So where in Alaska are you?
Anchorage.
You're in Anchorage. Oh, yeah? I went to West Anchorage High School. Go Eagles.
Kidding.
Go Eagles. Yeah, I did.
Oh, wow. Small world, huh?
Yeah, that was a while ago.
What year?
That was back in the 60s. My dad was stationed at Elmendorf Air Force Base. And so I was...
yep.
Yeah, I was living on the base and taking the bus over to West Anchorage High School, and I remember I was big into basketball then. I remember there was a big rivalry between West Anchorage, East Anchorage, and Diamond High School. And are those still the big three high schools up there?
Yeah, East, Diamond, West. There's I would say the newest big one since you've been gone is South. South High School is probably the biggest high school in Anchorage now.
Wow, that's awesome. Well, I so much appreciate your listenership, and I even more appreciate your calling in. I hope you'll do so on a regular basis.
Yes, sir, absolutely. Thank you for having me on.
All right, again, first-time caller, Tristan! All right, you have yourself a great day.
All right, take care. God bless.
God bless, my friend.
Thanks.
Thank you much.
Bye.
So, yeah, that goes to show, look, I'm not going to be right 100% of the time, and I do rely upon other people. It's the same thing that Candace Owens is going through. She's not going to be 100% right on everything that she's putting out there. But when you're doing investigative journalism and you're reporting on things, you're going to go down a wrong rabbit hole once in a while, especially when you're dealing with people whose motto is, by way of deception, thou shalt do war. Now, again, by way of deception, in other words, by lying. There's so much lying going on, so much propaganda, so much, hopium, so much horse hockey and bullcrap out there. And people are doing it deliberately, and I don't know why they do it. Anyway, back to this issue. Okay, oh gosh, look at the time. I'm almost out of time here. Oh my gosh, the hour goes by so quickly. Anyway, we're going to have to keep our eyes on what's going on with the developing issue with Venezuela, because there's a whole lot more behind that story than that's being told in the mainstream media. Of course, all of the blue-haired liberals a few months ago were screaming, "No kings! We hate dictators! Trump's a dictator! We have to get rid of dictators! Dictators are bad!" So now Trump goes in there and pulls out a dictator. "Oh, he can't do that. He's taking out a dictator." Oh, my gosh. Oh, my word. And, of course, there's the issue about the election fraud. Of course, that's back on the front burner right now because of, the January 6th anniversary was yesterday. And I can only hope that the statute of limitations has not run out on those who perpetrated the hearings. Okay? And let's not forget, Joe Biden even admitted about the issue about the election fraud.
We have put together, and you guys did it for our the President Obama's administration before this. We have put together, I think, the most extensive and inclusive voter fraud organization in the history of American politics. We have put together...
Unreal. He said the quiet part out loud, didn't he? He sure did. Oh, man. Okay, well, like I was saying, there's a lot more that's going to be coming out about this thing with Nicolas Maduro, because I believe he's singing like a bird right now. I really do. And we know that the Dominion machines, and there's a long history going back all the way back 20 years into this issue about Smartmatic and Dominion machines, and what a big role that Venezuela played, along with several other countries, and some very powerful, rich, influential individuals. Of course, and now this is all going to start coming out. I can only hope and pray. But then again, the only way, if all of our institutions are corrupted, including the DOJ, the Department of Justice, how can we ever expect to see justice when the judges themselves are corrupt? Now, how do you get them out? Impeachment? Well, then that's playing by the same rules that they play by. Sometimes you got to break the rules. All right, folks, that's gonna bring this Wednesday edition of the WTF Reports to a close. I'm your host, Dave vonKleist. I appreciate your listenership, and above all else, I ask that you visit our website, TheWTFReports.com. Do business with our sponsors and help us keep the lights on. Costs money to do this show. Anyway, that said, God bless you all. Stay safe. Stay free. I will see you tomorrow, God willing.
Understanding that there's no place to run.